I live on the collars. My fingers are fucked.
I like collars, but that's pretty much it. I'll grab ankle before I grab pant leg. I'll grab wrist before I'll underhook and like grab a lat. You know what I mean? Like I don't, to this day, I still play a lot of no-gi grips unless I'm going for some sort of a collar choke.
I have grips all the time. I won't even hook up with my wife unless she has a bathrobe on. Like seriously, like I need grips. Your boy loves them.
Welcome back to the pod. My name's Kenny. I'm here with my co-host Matt. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? This is like Neapolitan ice cream today. We got a full all gi guy, chocolate. We got a guy who did no gi, but now does gi, but then does some no gi sometime, Neapolitan. And then we got the no gi guy, Drew from 10th Planet Murrieta, vanilla. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Drew is the most hated man in PGF history. He is one of the main referees from the organization, and he's here today. And we're going to get to know him a little better, and we're going to know the guy you hate, and we're going to talk to him about some rules, and we're going to talk to him about his whole venture with the PGF. We're going to talk about his gym, his what he plans for the future, and all that good stuff. Kenny, but before we start, how was your weekend? Is this going to be after your tournament, huh?
Yeah.
So we don't know how we don't know how you did last week. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking you won.
I'm thinking I won too.
Dubs.
Yeah. Dude, you look like you fucking won, dude.
Yeah. I look like a guy that just won next week.
I will find out in 2 weeks. So, Drew, your jiu-jitsu journey starting, how did it start? When did you fall in love with the sport? What made you like the sport? All that origin story stuff.
Yeah, man. So I started doing jiu-jitsu 2011. Before that, I didn't have any martial arts experience, and I lived in Los Angeles. That's where I grew up. And so I was really into like the party scene. And one day, man, I just got really depressed, and enough was enough. And I knew I needed to change, but I didn't really know what. And I was talking to a friend about it, and he was doing jiu-jitsu, and he's like, dude, you need to come meet me at this address at this time. You know, we're going to help you out and come do some jiu-jitsu. I didn't really know what it was all about, but I was down to make a change. I knew I needed that. And so I met him, and it was 10th Planet School in Van Nuys, California, under Alder Hampel, who's one of Eddie's black belts. And I got tapped out over and over and over and over again by two 15-year-old kids. They triangle choked the hell out of me and armbarred me repeatedly. And I was like, holy shit, this is magic. I need to learn this. Like, what is this? So I just kept showing up. And I think like most people, my first, few months of jiu-jitsu was torture and misery and just being stuck under people and very frustrating. And as I stayed consistent, I started to learn some things, learned how to defend myself and survive. And then I got to get to the offensive portion. And I did competition like 4 months in, and I just got hooked, man. I loved it. Great community, healthy habits. I was around good people, doing good things. And so that was different for me up to that point. And so I just kept it going, man. And I really owe it to the community.
So you've literally been 10th Planet from start to finish.
Correct.
Have you even like, just because you wanted to feel dangerous, put a gi on once?
Totally. Yeah, I put the gi on a lot. So my school, that 10th Planet School, was very close to John Jock headquarters. So we would have a lot of drop-ins because a lot of people who train John Jock also train with Eddie. So we would have black and brown belts drop in. We would have blue belts drop in. So they would beat me up no-gi a lot. And then one of John Jock's black belts, who was also trained with Eddie a lot. He was in Eddie's first band. His name was Tim Antolin. Started to teach a gi class a couple days a week at that 10th Planet School. So I trained pretty consistently as a blue belt in that class. I was doing both gi and no gi. And then I would drop into John Jock's. And then I would go to my friend's house, and he had mats there. Eventually I lived there, but he had mats there. And so we would train gi, no gi. So I did put the gi on and I did experience both really early on in jiu-jitsu.
Very, very cool. Kenny, how did you meet Drew?
He opened up a school here in Murrieta. I was looking for jiu-jitsu gyms at the time, and I think I'd mentioned before that I was looking at Gracie Baja and like Elsinore because I was working in Elsinore at the time. I've lived in Wildemar, so it was just on my way home.
And you didn't have any gold bars?
Dude, yeah, no shit. It's like $600 and fucking sign your firstborn away to start. Yeah, it was just so expensive. And then I was watching a lot of Rogan and whatnot, and I'd seen Eddie on there, and I knew what 10th Planet was. And then I got an Instagram notification that 10th Planet was going to be opening a school in Murrieta, and I was like, no way. So I hit him up and went down, signed up, and did a couple classes, I think a week or so before like the official grand opening. And then they had a seminar with Marvin Castile. So I went to that, and that was a neat one too, because they started out, Drew has a buddy that did, he's like a yoga instructor or something like that.
Wim Hof?
No, brown belt, light skin black guy from I think Corona.
Yeah. Anthony Yoga.
Yeah.
Lockdown. Yeah.
Came in and he did like a 20, 25 minute like yoga warm up before class. And like I'd never done that before.
Hey, fuck yoga, dude. That shit's tiring.
It's hard. Yeah. It's harder than jiu-jitsu.
It is not cool, dude.
Yeah. Dude, I shit you not, I was laying on the mat. Like at the end of it, we're like laying there. And I think it's called child's pose or something like that. And just kind of doing breathing exercises before the seminar starts. And I started fucking weeping. Like, it was like super emotional. Don't know why. I'm just like sitting there. I'm just like,
fuck, dude.
Yeah. And then we proceeded to learn a bunch of leg locks and some Imanari stuff. And it was wild. So
Helio Gracie was in heaven looking down and going, someone give this guy a fucking gi fast. We're losing him. He's dying on us. He's dying.
But yeah, so I did like a year there, and I transferred. I started at a different body shop here in Temecula, and then I moved to Temecula. So I was looking for something a little closer to the house.
You're like, fuck Drew. Like, 15-minute drive, fuck him.
That wasn't that. It was I didn't get out of work in time to make it to class, and I hate being late. Like I won't go to class late, even now. Like if I'm gonna be 10 minutes late, I'm not training tonight. I don't want to be that guy.
I got that purple yet.
Right. Yeah. I can't miss out on warm-ups. See, it fucking everybody knows.
It's a thing, man.
It's a thing, dude.
So, so that's how I ended up at Hindo's, just because Hindo's was literally a block from the shop that I worked at. So
now let's get into a little more meat and potatoes. Drew, a lot of people that you like look up into in the grappling space, you were reffing them. Or I say look up to, but like, respectable guys.
Totally, man. Friends.
And, right?
Yeah, man.
And you're just both. Yellow flag in their ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they're and then you would see something, they look at you like, what the fuck? Like, and you're like, I'm just doing my job. You're like, it almost felt like you're getting pulled over by a cop. And you're like, hey, my dad's a cop. Like, just to let you know, you have to throw that out there somewhere because maybe they gotta let you off. Like, yeah, my dad works with you, like, oh yeah, who's your dad? Eddie Bravo, and he's like, I don't care. Have a nice day. Here's your ticket. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I did everything right. I freaking name dropped. Like, I feel like that was kind of the same energy you were getting from some of your peers when you were flagging them.
It was tough. So I had a conversation with Brandon after, and he's like, man, Brandon's like, you're like me, man. Like, we're nice guys, and you got to be real thick-skinned to make some of these calls. And it was challenging because, like you said, these are guys that I know, that I train with, that are friends, and mentors, guys I look up to, and they're coaches, like Andy's coach is like a mentor of mine, man. John Jock is like Yoda to me, and they're giving me dagger eyes. Casey's about to jump the table and wring my freaking neck. John Jock's over here in my face like, why are you calling stall? Why are you calling stall? And I'm like, I have to, please don't look at me. I'm sorry. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, And the rule set's so different from anything that we've seen.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rule set. Let's hear from the referee. Give us your mindset in the tournament. Give us what you're thinking, and explain to the people who are watching on YouTube. A lot of people watch on YouTube. A lot of people watched on Fight Pass. Explain to them like what you're thinking, what you're trying to accomplish with your calls and when you're and your stuff.
Right. Traditionally, a ref is looking for, our points being scored and whatnot. And since points are out because it's sub only, what are you looking for during the match?
Like, what makes a stall to you?
Yeah, let's get into it. So I think it's important that we talk about the mission statement of the PGF in general, right? And so the mission is that the PGF is committed to promoting an active, engaging, and competitive grappling environment. So what does that mean? Well, I think we've seen time and time again, two of the best guys on the planet, right, will sit there and they don't want to give anything up. And all of a sudden 10 minutes has gone by and we've barely seen 1 or 2 submission attempts because nobody wants to give anything up. And while maybe some of us can appreciate that on a technical level, it's not very entertaining to watch. Even some of the best guys in the world will sit there and be like, oh, so boring, right? Like, what are we watching here? And I think we can all agree that we would like jiu-jitsu to be as big as it could be. Like, we want to share this with this. Like, that's why I teach, right? Like, jiu-jitsu, the thing every black belt says at their promotion, jiu-jitsu saved my life. For real, right? And I know what it could do for other people. So I want to help spread it and teach it to as many people as possible. And I think the PGF is in alignment with that. And I think to do that, to get as many eyeballs on the sport, to get money pumped into the sport for the athletes, to build it up and put it in every high school, just like wrestling, and to get it there, it has to be entertaining to watch, right? So somebody who knows nothing about jiu-jitsu has to be able to look at it and be like, oh, cool, because you can watch NBA and you can not know, how to play basketball, but when you see someone flying through the air and dunk that freaking ball, you're like, whoa, that was crazy, right? And so PGF is trying to create that same thing. So PGF's goal is not to be ADCC or IBJJF or be the next big jiu-jitsu tournament. PGF's goal is to be NBA, NFL. And the goal is to get athletes paid and to be able to get these big sponsors to pump money into it so the athletes can get paid, because we know for years these guys train their whole lives and the only way they're able to support themselves is by either opening a school, getting sponsors, right? Like, you have to there's very few avenues for you to really make a whole lot of money. Not everybody's Gordon Ryan, dude. We don't all have that.
Unicorns, right? That's
right. And so if you look at the NFL, you have your first round draft pick and then you have your 50th round draft pick. But even that 50th round guy still gets a contract.
Yeah, it's just not as big.
It's not as big, but he still gets a contract. He still gets to provide for his family through this sport. He gets to be a professional athlete. And so that's the goal of PGF, right? And so if we keep that in mind, okay, so here's the problem. How do we make it as entertaining as possible? And so when you have two high-level guys that don't want to give anything up, we call a stall on them and make them give something up, because it's crazy to watch, especially us being like, wait, what's happening? He's going in referee. Why is he giving up his back? Well, you have to give up your back. So I'll take this match, Andy Varela versus Ben Eddy. And at the time, the way I saw it from a different lens than Brandon saw it. And we had to make corrections moving forward. So every single day, the rules kind of started to, the criteria of judging warnings and stalls kind of morphed a little bit. And the athletes were privy to it before the matches every single day, right? If we were making changes, it was like, hey guys, we're going to be a little heavier on this. Hey guys, we're going to be a little different on that. So it was an interesting thing. Like any sport, it's developing. I mean, even today, IBJJF will still change rules, right? You appeal to them, they judge on it, they'll change it. ADCC, same thing, right? So PGF is kind of in that infant stage where we're really trying to figure out how to make a rule set that is obviously fair to everybody, but two, makes it really entertaining and palatable and makes people really want to watch this thing, because that's how we're going to make it as big as we can make it for our community.
Right. I don't mind the stalling calls. I feel like they were warranted because there's not a lot of movement. The only thing is, I feel like if you take the cooking or you take the control aspect away from the grappler, sloppy technique creates scrambles, right? So a guy who's really good at controlling in position, there is a skill to that. It looks, like I said last episode, it looks boring as shit. but there is a skill to that.
100%.
And sometimes the guy so the guy's full mounted. I remember watching the final. I don't know who, maybe it was Varela versus Jet. Full mount control on Jet. And Varela got a stalling call. And they had to switch him. And he had to be, you know what I mean?
I don't think he was mounted on that call. I think he was not engaging passing the guard on that particular call, but I did do that. So let's talk about that. Back to Benetti and Varela, because that was 2 days prior. And that was the situation where Varela passed his guard. He had a deep body lock on him from north-south. And Benetti could not move. And I called a warning on Varela, and he got upset, and his coach got really upset. And after the match, I had a conversation with Brandon, because in my mind, I get that you're in the advantageous position, but aren't you also don't you also have to progress?
Right.
Right? Because the natural progression, like via the point system, would be knee on belly to the mount, to the back, and try and kill, right?
Right.
And so that was, in my mind, I'm like, dude, you're just holding him there. And Ben was trying to defend himself, but in Brandon's mind, Ben was obligated to give up his back to create movement.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that the guy on bottom, I feel like stalling call Varela, boom, fine. But to get the stalling call, Eddie needs to get to a secure guard. And then we'll award it. So it's activated. You just got to get to a better spot. Get back to your feet, get to a half guard, get to a butterfly guard, get to any of dominant control. Because then all you're doing is you're staying fucked.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you get switched.
And you're right. And so that's where we had to go back and say, okay, stalling is never going to be called on the top guy, because the bottom person shouldn't be in that position in the first place. So the guy on the bottom has to either turn and give up his back to create some type of movement, or we call stalling, and then we're going to put you in referee's position and essentially give the top person your back, or we're giving the top person the option of, do you want to stay in your dominating like mount position or north-south position, or would you like to take referee's position from that point? But the stalling athlete will get a stalling point, take like a stalling call on their record. And so that once you accumulate multiple stalling calls, well, now it starts to affect your score and your team score. So now your money is affected, your teammates' money is affected, your coach's money is affected, right? And so that's the incentive for them to not be in that predicament.
Yeah, I like that. I think if you can really get, like I said, all right, you called it. I'm a north-south. You call stalling on me. I can ride this out. I do have a penalty on me. But if the guy on bottom somehow gets to his feet or gets to a half or gets to a scram. Now, if he rolls and I take the back, I still have that stalling call on me. It's still here. It's like a penalty still on me. Mm-hmm. But now he turns from the back and he gets into my close. He's on top and I'm in close guard. Then I get awarded it. And then I don't know how you would do it, but I feel like the guy in dominant position the guy on the bottom who's being dominated has to get to a secure guard to give the stalling call back, to get the punishment for the guy.
For the other guy, the top guy.
For the top guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like you have to. You can't. I'm on full mount. It's hard to finger roll. There's not a lot of submissions, no gi from full mount. If the guy's just being I'm just waiting for a penalty here.
Yeah, well, you're going to get penalized.
Because the guy on the bottom is stalling.
Is going to get penalized if he's not, again, giving up his back to create some type of scramble or something.
He's not pushing. He's not trying to get his guard back. He's not doing nothing. He's just I'm waiting for a penalty. It.
So here's the criteria as we have it written now. You're going to get a silent 10 count that as an athlete, you're not going to see it. And the judge at the table gives it, and he's going to give you a warning. And once that warning happens, there's going to be a shot clock. That's a 20-second shot clock. And you have to take what's called a deep shot within 20 seconds. A very large offensive maneuver to either take them down, pass the guard, suck them into your guard. But you have to be progressing and moving forward. So whether that's from top or bottom, whatever. But make something happen. And then if you don't do that within that 20 seconds, you get your stalling call. You're allowed a maximum of 3 stalling calls within the round. Otherwise, it becomes DQ. Basically, you're not here to fight. Get off the mat. You're penalized. Your team's penalized. You have no shot at the playoff after. So I like it. I see what he's trying to do, and it does create action.
I think that's just the explanation of the rules is the main, especially guys who've been grappling so much in the IPJJF formats and the traditional jiu-jitsu tournament formats. Mm-hmm. It's hard to be like, what do you mean? I passed the guard. That's good.
Right.
But you got to do more.
Yeah.
They need more. This is a pro.
Yeah, I think so. And that's the exact mindset is we're in a professional league now. We're in a professional sport where, we need action. We need action. We need eyeballs on it. We need people to really like want to watch it. And as an athlete who's going to make big money, you better make big moves, And
these guys are so high level, you're not going to see a sloppy transition to a move. It's going to be a high level calculated move. But like, to me, like, it's just hard to watch people like give up dominant position. I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, also, that being said, in a regular season, mm-hmm. the refs blow the whistle more. Mm-hmm. Right. It's more like, yeah, here it is. But in the playoffs, mm-hmm. the refs will kind of let the whistle go a little bit. And I guess like every ref has their own style. Mm-hmm. Kind of like in baseball, like this ref calls strikes. He's pitcher friendly. Mm-hmm. He calls a lot of strikes. This pitcher's, he calls a lot of, his strike zone's small. He's hitter friendly. And like, so I guess like each ref will have their own style. So by per ref you get, you'll know what it's going to be like.
That's a really good analogy. That's exactly what it's going to be like. Because each judge, each ref is going to have their own criteria for how they call those things, how they reset people on the mat, the way they like to do things. And we see the same thing in UFC. Certain guys will let things go.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah,
fuck Yamasaki, dude.
Let things go.
Fuck this guy. Hey man, you suck, dude. Like we miss Yves Levine. He'll let a motherfucker die out
there. Yeah. So, it's a cool thing to be a part of. It's cool to see like a brand new rule set play out with high level guys. We haven't seen that yet. We're in season 6, but the previous 5 seasons have all been in Brandon's gym, right? And so this is the first year we've gotten like PJ Barches, Renato Canuto, guys like at that caliber, and then put them in there with guys who, essentially we've never heard. Like I've never heard of Nathan Haddad, and like holy mackerel, dude, that kid's amazing. I never heard of Jet Thompson.
No, right.
That kid's everybody's new favorite grappler.
Right.
And held his own as a 17-year-old brown belt, like piecing up these guys. It was crazy.
Like the Mad TV logo out there just taking legs, dude.
and I like that. You can be a Renato Canuto or an Andy Varela, but if you can't get the finish, you get the draw against maybe a purple belt or a brown belt, dude.
AJ.
Like,
Yeah, and nobody scored on AJ. But did he? I mean, he didn't go out there and put on like a dominant performance like, I was expecting.
You saw a lot of these high level guys coasting and getting 0-0 matches mm-hmm. against the higher level guys and then trying to score on the lower ranked guys. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work.
Right. No. Right. It would have behooved them to just go for broke,
every time
out the gate. And day one was a lot of people just kind of feeling styles out. And I think a lot of people didn't want to unleash their whole repertoire and like let people know what to expect from them as the tournament went on, which I get that. But at the same time, you're playing a whole different game.
Sorry, you're next, Kenny. I know you got something brewing in there. I swear to God, I'm sorry I just interrupted you. Good. And I'm going to do fucking 10 burpees when we're done here. If you were an athlete invited to this, how would you handle fighting? Would you just go blitz? I think the best strategy is to try to score 6 on day 1 because that's your healthiest and you set a pace. And then maybe day 2, day 3, you're not feeling, you're tired. You got to score early while you're the freshest. I think that's the best way. Go for broke day 1. And if you miss it, you miss it. It's kind of like you're playing roulette. If you hit red first on your first bet, okay, now I got a little bankroll here. I can have a little wiggle room.
Yeah, I think so. It's accumulative, right? So you want to score as soon as you can, as much as you can. So, I mean, all routes should lead to chokes. I had a conversation with Hegan right before day 2. So I'm at the hotel before we went and we were talking about it. And I told him if I was him, I would be coaching all his guys to just be hunting the back. Like that's where you're going to win this thing. You know, I think from the back, even if obviously you have the kill there, right? But I think when people defend the back, you have so much opportunity on the way out, right? You can end up in the mount. You can end up in a head and arm. You can end up in an arm bar off of people defending the back.
Right.
Whereas these other positions, you don't have as many options on the way out.
Right.
Right. So that's what I would do.
I forgot what I was gonna.
Oh, come on, Kenny! That's on me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Damn.
So, okay, back to me. So I said that like I think that these players should have, or these athletes should have, multiple year deals with these guys, right? With these teams, right? I feel like there should not be I don't think there should be like
a redraft,
an epic roll team and all these other teams. I think there should be a generic team names. And then, so say Andy Varela fights for the Muscats or whatever, right? Level Black will make a Muscat kit and then he could sell it. You know what I mean? Like, cause he's a Level Black guy and he could still rep his sponsor team. Cause all these guys have sponsored, you know what I mean? And he could still rep their kit and then they could sell and make money that way with that said team. And I think they should be multiple year deals. So like, hey, Varela, we drafted you for a 3-year deal. Max, all you can do is draft 3, no longer than 3 years. 3-year deal. We're going to pay you $4,000 a week to be a Muscat. You have to compete all those years.
Yeah. That's.
And then every year there'll be a new draft with new guys. And then the feeder leagues is how you enter the draft. The feeder leagues is basically a PGF tournament, which is like IBJJF, where you have to collect points by winning these tournaments. If you accumulate enough points, you get invited to the draft.
Yeah, this is exactly what's happening.
You get invited to the draft.
This is what we're doing. So the teams, I think, at least for the first few next seasons coming up, they're going to primarily be sponsored. Right, like we had Team Epic Roll, Team, you know.
And I get it right now. Like you have to. I mean, that's where the money's at.
Right now, that's where we're at. But what they're trying to do, insider information, is give these teams a budget to draft these athletes for a year, right, and start that way. And that way, they're on the team, paid for a year to train and compete through seasons, and then we make the season longer than a week, right?
And then the coaches, like Dean Lister's our coach.
Same thing.
You get invited, then you go train with Dean Lister for 5 months,
right,
before the season, so he knows your game.
100%, and he'll be able to best coach
be a better coach.
100%. And so that's what's in development right now.
That's cool.
Yep, and there will be feeder tournaments. So Brandon's asked me to help him dial in the rule set, really like substantiate what it is, and then create a referee certification course so we can get people officiating the rule set in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. And so, we can get the rule set out there. And so I just started a tournament company and I've been doing sub only, but I'm going to start moving more towards this PGF rule set as well. And in the gym, I'm helping my guys because I have guys that want to get there, right? So I'm going to be helping them get ready to play for the rule set. So
it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Kenny?
What I was going to say is, this is backtracking a bit at this point, but what I think is a lot of these guys, even these high-level guys, weren't expecting a 5-day back-to-back-to-back matches, 3 matches a day, what it puts your body through. I can't remember who it was specifically, but I remember looking over and seeing somebody's thigh. It was just riddled with bruises from somebody trying to open the guard, all week. It's just like I think I think PJ commented on it. Ben Eddy in our interview had commented on it, like how like they're just tired. Day 5, they're just like, dude, I just need rest. Like PJ's like, I just want to go home. Like
I saw some of the athletes. I'm not going to mention names, but talking. I was just eavesdropping with my big ass ears, and I was just listening to them talk to guys in front of them. And the guy's like, "So you gonna come back next year?" And then literally the athlete's like,
Yeah,
he's like, tough. I don't know, but if you locked them into a 3-year deal,
right?
It's like, yeah, you got $2,000 this week. If you want the next, $4,000, you got to come back for next season, 2 seasons, and then you can get traded to another team. Say, hey, we traded so and so, but if you want him, you got to pay the $4,000 on his deal. and then like you can play the whole thing. Then we're playing real sports.
Yeah, and that's the goal. That's what we want to do. We want to play real sports. Now, also given like this is brand new, man. Nobody's even trained for anything like this, let alone done anything like this, right? Like, how do you prepare for something where you're going to do 4 or 5 days back to back, you know what I mean? If like 15 tough competition rounds with some of the best guys, in a week, that's we've never done that.
And obviously, a feeder league is not going to be required for the even bigger names, because like guys like Craig Jones, right? Like he's a free agent. Like, he don't have to do no feeder league. If Team Epic rolls like, hey, Craig, he'd be great for the team. He's a submission hunter, right? And the rumor is it that like Craig Jones is offering what? Was he $1 million? Something like that?
$2 million.
$2 million?
For who is?
Craig Jones. After PGF, like a couple of days after PGF, he said that he was looking at putting together a tournament with like a $2 million prize.
And That's awesome. And I heard BMAC say he's legit. He's serious about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if PGF is working with Craig Jones. I don't know what's going on, but some stuff is going down. But like I'm saying is like the bigger guys, we're not gonna make them do a feeder tournament. Like Craig Jones is gonna get on he's a free agent basically. Mm-hmm. Gordon Ryan is free. Hey, Gordon, we'll pay you for 3 seasons $10,000 a week to be on the freaking Barracudas.
Yeah, no, the feeders for guys coming up, guys we don't know yet, guys that aren't in the fold yet. You have to, even like this one, we had a qualifier tournament. There's a qualifier tournament in Vegas, and Mike John ended up winning that spot, and he got on. And there's going to be 3 qualifying tournaments leading up to the next season. So the next season's in November, and there's going to be 3 throughout July and August. There's going to be 3 more qualifying tournaments. DM PGF.world, so you can find out what's going on. I'm not
so we're gonna go. I'm hearing 205.
205 is the next division.
205 in November, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the who's who was at this place.
Yeah, there's some. I've been privy to some athletes coming up. I can't say, but it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. Yeah.
That's crazy. There's
guys that are committing to do it.
That's great.
I think there's a lot of people. We were talking about in our last episode about like what jiu-jitsu needs to get that kind of like mainstream sports exposure, and it's just what you talked about, making it more palatable, making it exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. I can sit my wife down, put a football game on. She might not understand all the rules, but within a few minutes, I can describe the game to her, and she can have a basic premise of what's going on. Grappling is so complex. Mm-hmm. That it's like if you don't understand each little micro movement and why a guy is grabbing here, or why his arm is an underhook and not an overhook. And most people just look at him like, oh, he's grabbing his head. Oh, he's grabbing his arm. But they don't realize that it's under for a reason. It's over for a reason, so making jiu-jitsu more palatable and whatnot is a huge benefit in this tournament. Definitely makes it easier to watch. Kind of stepping away from the point system of traditional jiu-jitsu tournaments. Mm-hmm. But also, I think it just who was there? Like when we were there on Friday night, just looking around the room, like these weren't all jiu-jitsu people. You know what I mean? There were people that aren't involved in jiu-jitsu in any way, shape, or form that were watching the tournament, enjoying themselves, having a good time.
Ranked UFC fighters watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Celebrities. It was cool.
Stand-up comedian like Russell Peters. All these great guys were there. Like, whoa, grab it. That guy's here. That guy's here.
Right.
I took a piss next to fucking Bon Jovi. I swear to God. It was crazy. But it was. Like, everybody was there. So I feel like it was very blood sporty. It was like a hidden location. You walk in. If the old lady blinks, that means you're in. If she doesn't, you're out. Like freaking, it was crazy, bro. Like walk in, like I was like, felt like the Kumite.
Yeah. I was, Eddie Bravo was sitting there like looking around, kind of checking it out. And he goes, this feels illegal. Like it's some like Russian mob boss, like party watching some like.
Right.
Had a very,
the flyer for when they first made the announcement with Zoltan, joining, the PGF
Heather,
owners. Yeah. So the flyer was couches around a mat in like this like swanky kind of room. And I just remember looking at it and I'm like, this looks like human cockfighting. Like the way they've got it set up. It's like you're going to have a bunch of rich people in tuxedos sitting around. And when we got there, I was like, it's like legit, you know.
It is.
Yeah. It wasn't packed seats, you know, in an arena or anything like that. It was like, it was a really neat experience. And
nobody's mom was there like, stand up, Jeff.
Right.
Stand up, Jeff. Like, bitch, you can't.
Yeah. And
sorry, Jeff.
I was told that the design was primarily Zoltan and Heather Gracie. You know, shout out to them. And they did a really good job. And, you know, Brandon did a really good job. And the way they all worked together, it was really cool to be a part of a production like that. It was super legit, man. Like, yeah, I mean, everybody worked well together. Everybody was super professional. I'm really grateful I got to experience it. It really definitely set the bar high for things that I want to do coming up. And
it was the funnest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, man. It definitely makes me feel like we have such a bright future in the sport.
Do you think if the couches were black, the fighters would have been more scared?
What?
Casting couches.
Casting couches.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Like, what are we here for?
What's
See
going
that thing I just signed with?
Deep path.
Why is there a black couch in the middle of the mats?
That was cool. So we're gonna add more mat space, and then there's gonna be like it'll probably be red. It might be gold. There's gonna be about a 3-foot track lining the outside of the mats. It will also be matte, but it'll be distinguished as a different color. And we're calling that the warning track. And so when we have situations like the way PJ and Andy went way off the mat and a lot of things like that. Any position you had before you reach the warning track is where you're going to get reset. So as a way to kind of prevent people from fleeing to reset position, they're going to do that, which I like. The only thing that will not constitute a reset is if you're in a fully locked submission. So if you're in the heel hook, you roll off the mat, ADCC style, you're going, dude. We're live.
Maury Povich. Yeah. We're backstage.
Yeah. So things like that, some changes that I think will be really good, extending the mat space a bit. And they don't want to do it too much because, like, even Eddie was talking about, like, you know, we've made the mat. You know, we started at 20 feet. We've made it like 40 feet. Somehow the competitors always find their way to the end of the mat, you know. So I think it'll just take, on the referee's part, like a good, better job of keeping athletes centered and officiating in the middle. There's also going to be another referee added to the equation that's going to be circling the mat and helping ensure that action stays on the mat.
Kenny brought this up a couple episodes ago, and he said, and I thought it was a great idea. And I know originally it was like 13 straight weeks that BMAC was doing this weekly rather than 1 week. Mm-hmm. Do you think we have in a place where we think the season will be more week-based again? Because it's kind of cool having that, like, you know, Thursday night there's football.
Right.
Yeah.
And every Thursday night, like, oh, tonight, PGF tonight. Like, you get excited. We know when UFC's on Saturday. Ooh, big, you know, like, we know there's certain days, like Monday Night Football. We know, right? Do you think that gets, and then all of a sudden, then the playoffs is a straight week of smoke? Like,
I think it gets there. I don't think it gets there maybe not in the next 12 months, but I think it gets there. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense, right? If I'm going to draft a player for over a year, well, we have to have so many games for them to play in. I think the 5 days in a row was, like you guys said, very taxing on the athlete. I don't think any of them were really prepared for that. Even trials, you're not doing 4 or 5 days of freaking, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing that.
If you've ever done one jiu-jitsu tournament in your life, and most of you guys listening probably have, how fucking tired are you?
You know,
when it's over?
3-4 matches.
And imagine saying, okay, we're going to do that again tomorrow.
And the day after.
And then a day. Right. And then a day again. And then a day again. You're fucking done. Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And not just like against, you know, that blue belt at, you know, whatever school down the street. Like, the best freaking guys that we can find.
Yeah. So it's if you put that in perspective, if you think it's easy, imagine how tired you were after your first tournament. Yeah. And then imagine having to do that tomorrow.
Every match is essentially.
Injuries, like, we got to figure out a way to do something about the injuries, man, because I was concerned. So, like, the phantom tap that I called or whatever, I think it was a tap, Kevin Burig and David Evers match. And, dude, I was concerned. Like, he tapped a couple times. People on the internet argued maybe I should have let it go another tap. Maybe you want to let it go 3 taps.
Not if you know this. You have to. A ref's job is to protect the fighter.
That's what I thought. I mean, in my mind, I'm protecting Kevin because one, I feel like David's about to break his foot off, but two, like, you have 3 more days of this, dude. You know? So I called it.
Yeah, and this isn't like an elimination match here.
Maybe that's where we go with, like, in the playoffs, you might not.
Yeah, so what do you guys think? Like, should I have let it go another tap? Should I have let him break it?
I thought it was a tap all day.
I thought it was a tap watching it.
I watched it live.
I think
it's a tap.
It depends on the situation. If it's an elimination game, win or go home playoff stuff, you might, hey man, you're trying for that extra 20 G's or whatever the purse is. Like, go. I'm gonna make sure. I need to know. Mm-hmm. But in the regular season, you got to fight tomorrow.
That's day one.
Day one. You got to fight until you got 4 more days. Yeah, I'm gonna protect the fighter. If it looks sketchy and it looks like a tap to me, I'm gonna be there.
That's what I thought. And I mean, dude, if you get injured and you're out, now you have to split your purse with somebody else. Like, you bring in an alternate, and now your money split up with that dude. So
I think it gets it. In a typical MMA rule set, they'd say you don't stop until the ref pulls you off. You know, if you're punching a guy, you know, whether he's out or not, you don't stop until the ref pulls you off. And I think in this situation, if you've got a deep heel hook, it's like, if I tell you I'm not going to, or you don't let that heel hook go until I tell you to, whether he taps or not, because we don't know if this is a false tap or not, then you risk the potential of that person just having their knee blown the fuck out. You know, where now that falls on you as the ref, because you're just people will point the finger at you for that.
Most hated guy in PGF,
right?
Yeah.
But
PGF.
it's a really fine line to walk, because then you got to explain to the other guy, or both guys, or everybody at the beginning of the season, your taps need to be very defined. If you do anything that looks like a tap, like what else would he be doing?
Yeah, and that was my argument too, because if you look, his hand wasn't postured in any defensive way. He wasn't pushing to try and create any kind of frame.
He wasn't reaching. He wasn't an aggressive reach to like break a grip.
Right.
That's a tap.
Either you're trying to fake tap to get him to let go so that you can hopefully sneak by and not get called on a tap and make it out of that submission.
Brazilian tap.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you should be penalized for that anyway.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but like, you're still cheating, right?
Right. I mean, it is what it is.
Guys, here's why your hormones suck.
If you're listening to this, then chances are you may be one of countless guys who are struggling to see the results they want in the gym, in the mirror, or even in the bedroom. Most guys are focused on testosterone. However, that's only 50% of the answer.
Without adequate growth hormone
and its end result, growth factors, you can't optimally absorb the testosterone you have, no matter if it's synthetic or natural.
That's where BioPro Plus comes in.
BioPro Plus fills in what you're missing out on to help maximize your performance in the gym and even how you look in the mirror, without any needles, side effects, or doctor visits, all at a fraction of the cost of synthetic treatments. Over the last few years, BioPro Plus has been taking the medical community by storm as a faster, easier to use, and 100% safe alternative to prescription HGH and peptide treatments. It's become an underground favorite for professional and combat sports athletes and has been featured in Men's Journal, Muscle and Fitness, and even venture capitalist magazines.
Simply put, BioPro Plus is getting real guys, real results really fast. Check them out and enjoy your new look on life.
I'm just like, it's exciting time. Groundbreaking stuff for us. Do we got questions, Kenny? Let's see what we got from the people.
Anthony 816 or Anthony Core 816 asks any brace or sleeve recommendations.
It's hard to wear a brace in jiu-jitsu. You can buy the beefy ones with the freaking wrap, but in a tournament, if you're competing, the wire, that's not allowed. I go to Walgreens. There's a gray one there. I don't even know the name of it, and it's like $20 if I want to. I just look for that jelly ring around my kneecap for a little support.
Yeah,
but there's not really much you can do if your knees hurt.
I got one of those Anaconda ones. I think maybe I ordered a large. I think maybe I need a medium or something like that, because it still tries to slide off my knee.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what about you, Drew? Any braces?
I wasn't happy with the Anaconda product.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna trash their brand. I just didn't like it, and so
he's fuck Anaconda.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I felt like I needed something more substantial because I do have bad knee problems, but also, the other ones like with the gel that support you more, they're kind of bulky, especially like we play a lot of leg locks. And so that's something that kind of limits my mobility when I'm in those positions. So I do what any veteran of jiu-jitsu does, and I just train around my injuries, man.
I got a cortisone shot last week. I feel great. That was a good question. What have you noticed from starting in 2011 to now? I know the leg game has really took over.
Oh, huge, yeah.
But like, what is that like the biggest change? Because before, what was it? Before Danaher, 2017, 2018 started doing the leg stuff. What was 10th Planet like? What was the main focus? Was it attacking legs, or was it more of just high rubber guard, omoplata, stuff like that?
Rubber guard, lockdown, twister, I think, are like the pillars of Eddie's developments. And there's tons of stuff off of that, right? Like we can just start there and spiderweb off of those. But high guard has always been one of his like biggest, longest running projects. He first developed it in a way to make jiu-jitsu and MMA better. Huge MMA fan, and Eddie is. And when it became regulated and you had to take the gi off, and all of a sudden you started seeing the closed guard in MMA not be very effective, and you had guys like Tito Ortiz coming in, just sitting in your guard, clearing the lane and pummeling your freaking face in, right? And so the challenge was, okay, how do we control the posture? And so Eddie developed a whole system on controlling the posture by grabbing your leg, like trying to solve that. So it was very rubber guard focused, lockdown focused, and just trying to hit the truck, like that twister submission.
What do you think is the one thing that Eddie, to get your black belt in Planet system, like what's the one thing that an instructor is looking for? Is it comp W's? Is it a certain amount of flexibility? Is it like, what is like the main thing like that they're looking for?
Would you agree with me that not all black belts are the same?
100%.
Right. And so I think that I think it's subjective. I think, as we mentioned when we were doing the last questions, that your skill has to be at a certain level to be able to be black belt, right? I feel like master of fundamentals is like a really good kind of marker. And so I think if you're a competitor and like that's your goal is to compete at the highest level with black belt competitors, I think your route might be a little different rather than if you're the 2-day-a-week, 4-day-a-week guy, but you're super loyal, super consistent, always helping people, teaching a few classes. I think your path looks different.
Yeah, I agree. What else we got?
Bassamy says the recent lockdown Spitgate incident.
Dude,
what's the wildest shit you've ever seen at a comp?
Oh, that's great. So that's a good friend of mine that happened to. Actually,
really?
Yeah, I gave him a call. His name's Matt Walsh. Shout out Matt, 10th Planet, Pompano Beach, Florida. And Matt's OG, man. He's been around for a very long time in the 10th Planet system, originally out of the Bay Area. And that, I was confused looking at that. And like seeing what happened. So I guess in IBJJ, I didn't know this, at an IBJJF, lockdown is okay. As soon as you come through for the electric chair, they call it a reap. And I guess that's like known. And a lot of higher level guys in 10th Planet have petitioned that and argued it and had long conversations with the head refs about it. He didn't know that. I didn't know that. And so, they got into it a little bit on the mat, where he was saying like, what's his name? Anuncio, something like that.
Yeah, he was a former UFC guy.
Yeah, former UFC guy. And he's saying, you can't heel hook. And he was like getting heated. And so Matt also got heated and said, whatever, like take your fucking gold, like whatever.
So was Matt DQ'd?
Matt was DQ'd.
So what the fuck we complaining about?
Well, then, so then.
You won.
And then the other guy spits on him and then he gets DQ'd. So I think, I don't know who
double DQ
actually won that. The wildest shit I've ever seen at a comp is a video that was floating around last year of a guy literally picking a guy up in a triangle and slamming him into a referee's table, a judge's table.
Oh, I saw that. You remember that? I saw that.
I think the guy who did that is actually from our area, like Hemet somewhere.
I've seen someone shit themselves.
Oh shit! I've seen people throw up on themselves.
I've seen that. I've seen the guy that get that arm break that one time a couple episodes back. Sent it to fucking G.I. Joe'd his arm. I've seen fights break out on the mat where people just start throwing hands.
I saw at a high rollers a guy pick the guy out of he was in an arm bar and he picks the guy up way over his head and just slams him on the mat.
That Jeff Glover arm bar from like where he climbs up that giant guy.
Oh, that's epic, dude.
I don't know if that's real classic. Or not. It looks almost fake.
It's a classic arm bar.
The high rollers event itself, the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? That was insane.
Yeah, that was crazy stuff. Yeah, I believe so. I heard that the guy who runs it is cousins with Wiz Khalifa, so Wiz Khalifa has like a hand in it now.
Yeah, I know. I can't think of his name right now, but I know him.
Lonnie or something like that.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I've seen professors almost fight.
Yeah.
No professors I know. Over some student stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen professor and a ref. Got it. Live. Last year, I was at a Jiu-Jitsu World League. And these refs get so tired by the end of the day. Well, they're just like, they're not even into it anymore. They're just standing there, you know? And this girl ends up choking on her mouthpiece or something like that. She's out. She's out in a full-on choke. She's done. And this person's got this choke on for like ever. And the ambulanced her out. Like, but did this lady die? I don't know if this girl died or not.
Oh, wow.
But like, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And because she's out. She's out. The people had to run onto the mat and push off because she was out. And the ref's like, what? Like, she's out. And like, that was like a whole thing. You know, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
I watched a guy puke at a World League, like run off the mat after the match. Didn't wait for the hand raise or anything. Just beeline for a trash can and just blew chunks. But
Nate Diaz. I saw Nate Diaz at Pans, and Nate Diaz already fought Connor. Okay, so my man's breaded. Okay, I saw Nate Diaz hit up my boy for $20. Nate Diaz like, hey, bro, you got $20? Because he wanted a soluble. I was like, fuck no. We're fucking broke purple belts. Like, we don't have $20. And then leading to that, I got a hack for purple belts. If you're a broke purple belt, and I'm always shitting on the purple belts for being pimps and fucking your girl and all that kind of shit, because that's kind of true. I'm sorry, it is. But the hack, and this is what I used to do when I was broke. If you're a purple belt and you're trying to get out there and you're trying to take that mom out for the first time and you're trying to freaking get in them panties, they're just panties. They're not thongs. Those are moms. So this is what you need to do. Eat before you go on your date. So you're full. You pick her up. You take her to a date. You order a basic salad. That's $12 easy. That mom will be like, well, you're not eating anything? Like, no, I got a fight coming up. I'm watching my weight. That's what we're going to say. But really, we've got a red minus in our account. Okay? It's all good. Because we train twice a day. We don't have a job. She'll be like, oh my God, she's not going to out eat you. Because if she does, she's a fucking tank. But, and then I don't know what to tell you. But obviously, she's not going to out eat you. She will order the similar thing. You're out of that place for $20. Take her for a walk. Fuck her. You're good. There's your purple belt hack. Go get it. Your boy lived that life when I was broke.
Oh, wow.
I got to clip that one, Kenny.
5-stripe white belt asked PB&J with peanut butter on the top or jelly on the top?
You're putting jelly on the bottom?
No, jelly on top.
It won't even spread.
Yeah. Peanut butter first.
Peanut butter first, dude.
Yeah.
Pass the guard before you sub, dude.
Position before submission.
Exactly.
Anonymous question. Just curious, when learning new techniques, do you focus on one side until you're comfortable and then start to work on the other side? Or do you work on both sides and rotate to develop the muscle memory?
The former. I do it like that. I'll work on one side, get comfortable on it, and then Let's see what it feels like on this side.
Hodger Gracie, you only need to be good at 8 moves in jiu-jitsu. There's 10,000. You only need to be good at 8. Master those 8. So if you're good at going to a good side, that's your good side. Now, an injury might force you to get good at another side. Work around your injuries, like Drew said. I got a right knee here. I can't really play this guard anymore. Oh, guess what? I'm going to be on top now. Now you've developed a top game. Or like, I'm going to go left because I know, Matt's freaking right leg sucks. So I'm going to go left. You know what I mean? Like, so like the styles make fights, but yeah, develop a good game on your good side. And then on your lower belts, practice on your bad stuff.
Another anonymous person, recently started training 5 days a week instead of 3. My fingers are starting to get jacked up. Is taping your fingers the only /best option? And do you recommend any tape brands or methods? Thanks.
Train no gi. And then
I was going to say, I was going to say switch your grips. Having started a no-gi for like a year before I ever put a gi on, to this day, I still don't grab sleeves unless I'm playing spider. You know what I mean? Like that. Otherwise, I'm just going to grab wrist.
I live on the collars. My fingers are fucked.
I like collars, but that's pretty much it. I'll grab ankle before I grab pant leg. I'll grab wrist before I'll underhook and like grab a lat. You know what I mean? Like I don't, to this day, I still play a lot of no-gi grips unless I'm going for some sort of a collar choke.
I have grips all the time. I won't even hook up with my wife unless she has a bathrobe on. Like seriously, like I need grips. Your boy loves them. No-gi, that inverted grip is money though. If you're trying, like, it's so hard to free someone's hand just by inverting your hand in the grip. Sorry about that. But rather than the classic over the top, that's easy to break. If you invert that grip, inverted underneath,
it's thumb up grip.
Yeah, thumb up grip. It's hard to break free of the hand. But how I repair my fingers, one Zoltan episode, he explains what he does with his fingers.
Taping them together.
Right. 2, go home. Now, any tape works. Tape does help. So all those brands are good. Get a bowl, your biggest bowl or pot that you cook pasta in. Fill it full of ice water after your training.
Oh, it's like an ice bath for your hands.
And I do this all the time.
Oh, but you don't ice bath.
I don't ice bath my balls. The bag stays fucking, okay? My hands, I put, and then as you're like watching TV or you're watching PGF on YouTube or whatever you're watching, you put your hands in the pot of water. I use the ice water because it covers the whole thing. So just ice is just going to this one little area. Submerge your hands in the ice water while you're watching TV 20, 30 seconds at a time. And that really helped my fingers a lot when I was battling hand injuries.
Inflammation, stuff like that. Yeah.
Also developing good like overhook, underhook, clinch game. Like John Jock,
Yeah.
Gracie cousin, training the gi his whole life, has one hand. Right. On his other hand, he's only got a thumb. So he developed a whole system of overhook, underhook, clinching. And so, training around injuries. So finding different ways to make your game adaptable to make it work for you.
I rolled with Wally on Monday.
So got that nub, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So Wally is, he's got a leg and an arm that were blown off. And he overhooked my arm with his nub and then just clamped down. I've never felt so much clamping pressure in my life.
No, my man's powerful.
Dude, it's insane. And then his hands, my God. I've never seen a larger hand in my...
He was at Jiu-Jitsu World League with his prosthetic. Who told me Wally was 6'4", dude?
Oh, no shit.
That's a big fucking guy, dude. I didn't even know. He was walking on his prosthetic.
He's a massive man.
He is a yeah, we said it before. He is a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. And the sweetest man, but
he's a sweetheart.
But at one point we like locked hands up and I was like, dude, I've never felt fingers this large before. His hands are fucking massive, or his hand, I should say.
Mrs. Wally's a lucky lady, dude. That's all I'm gonna say. I got a funny Wally story, and I'm not gonna say it here. I'm going to ask him before I bring it on here, but I was like, Wally, everybody in class wants to know. And he's like, what is it? And I asked it. I'll try to get clarification if I could say it on the podcast. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to, but yeah, it's funny. Drew, it's been an honor having you on, bro. We've been wanting you on forever. We're going to have you on again. What is coming up for you? Anything to promote? Anything big? What are your socials?
Yeah, likewise, it's an honor, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so I started a new tournament company. It's called King of Subs. So follow at King of Subs JJ on Instagram to get updated with what I'm doing there. I'm running fights every other month, just getting people who want to compete and just matchups, you know, get my students experience, give you guys some experience. It's sub only. There's no points. So you guys just go in and try and kill each other and have fun. PGF, you know, we've got some great things coming up. The next season's going to be in November. It'll be in Las Vegas again. So stay tuned. Go to pgf.world. Stay updated. Follow Brandon McCatherine, BrandonMC.ninja. And I have a new leg lock instructional out, fundamentals into leg lock. So if you're looking to build a foundation, this video is perfect for you. It's not too crazy, and you can drill really safe. And I show really cool drills to help you just really get acclimated to the positioning. And you can get that on my Instagram at drewjitsu10p.coach. And man, we're just rocking out at 10 Planet Murrieta. We do an open mat. Everybody's welcome, no matter what your school or affiliation. 6:30 p.m. on Fridays. Come hang out and train some no-gi with us.
We were at your gym a couple months ago for the BMX seminar. It's a beautiful place. Blowing out the seams, though.
Thank you.
You might be upgrading to another spot sooner or later.
We're working on it. Yeah.
So like, it's a lot of good dudes down there. So
thanks.
Yeah, there's a bunch of friendly dudes. You're gonna walk in there. You're gonna feel like you know everybody right off the first day. That's the coolest thing about jiu-jitsu is your first day you're at jiu-jitsu. I don't care if it's your first day. You don't even know how to front roll yet. You're invited to the barbecue that weekend. Mm-hmm. You're instantly a part of the squad.
Yep.
Taking team photos. You're like holding up your fist in the photo. Like, I don't even know how to fight yet. Like, you're in, dude. Jiu-jitsu. That's the best part about it. You're instantly part of the squad right away.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah. You think what I'm thinking, Kenny?
Aim for the bushes, brother.
Follow us at BJJ Balance on Instagram, at BJJ Balance on YouTube, at Oast Nation BJJ, at Freak Party BJJ. We are back on the great couches. Feels good to be back. Feels good to be, just doing our thing again. More exciting stuff comes up. We're now can focus on future guests, merch, all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. Kenny will post on TikTok soon. I'll post on TikTok tonight, and we'll catch you guys around. Os.